Yo, welcome to All Bullshit Aside. I'm your host, Sessions from Sessions 365 TV. You know, we putting all bullshit aside and we getting straight to it. I got a special guest in the building today. Really one of my favorite guests so far, even though I guess you could say I only had two. But yeah, I got the first he's actually the first gay person or straight to be featured on the Kid Craddock show delivering the celebrity gossip, the first to have Black Night on Cedar Springs, the first gay person to do a celebrity gossip on the Kazi radio station in Austin, Texas, received the first Miss Gay Texas honorary award in 2005, creator and host of PT's Point of View with over 1 million views and counting, Havana's own and Dallas LGBTQ legend P.T.
Hey, John,
Hey.
this bell ain't loud enough. What's the T? What's going on? Thank you for
No,
having me. How are you?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I like your platform. It's nice. I like the music. You was jamming like, hey.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It give you that little Dallas feel, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Oh, yes. Yes, it does. Which I
Yeah.
miss. I miss it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, I am glad that you did come on the show. Thank you for being
Sure.
a guest and accepting the invitation for
I
show.
support everybody, baby. In spite of
For
what you
sure.
heard.
Yeah. That's what we need because we all we got.
Yes, we all we got.
Yeah. So this is all bullshit aside. So we're gonna jump straight in and get straight to it.
Mhm.
First I want to just get to know you. A lot of people might not know who PT actually is, just outside of the club and things like that. So where you from, PT?
I'm originally from Austin, Texas. I was born in Austin, Texas, raised in West Texas, Midland,
Okay,
Odessa
okay.
area. Hmm.
Okay, okay. You grew up with your mom and dad, you got
My mother and my
siblings?
father. I have to write it down. It's sad. There's
Yeah.
8 on my mom's side and 8 on my father's side. My stepfather raised me, but I met my biological father when I was 25. So it's 8 on one side, 8 on the other side.
Oh, okay. So it was a lot of y'all.
Yes, yes.
Well, what would you say the relationship was like having all those different siblings?
Well, I didn't meet my father's side until I was like in my late 20, like 25. It was great. We get along fine now. Even on my other side, my mother's side, we get along great. They've been to my shows, they've seen my shows. We get along real good. Hmm.
Okay, okay. How was it opening up and coming out to your parents?
Well, my mother always knew that I was different, gay. Back then, you was a punk. You wasn't gay back then. You was a punk. She said, they've always said that about you. I've always knew. It was different. It was a little hard, but I stood alone and I stood on my own. And with the help of God, I went to church. I was raised in the church. In spite of what the church told me, I believed in God, and God gave me strength to go through the things that I went through.
Okay, I can definitely relate to that because I was raised in the church, sung in the choir, and
Hmm.
the whole the whole
Right.
nine.
Hmm.
So you were born in Austin, Texas,
Austin,
raised in
raised in
West Texas.
West
How
Texas.
old were you when you moved to Dallas?
When I moved to Dallas, well, it was I had to been in my late 20s going into my 30s. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
Mhm.
you was definitely well. I'm assuming you were already out by then.
Baby, I was out in high school.
Okay.
I was out in junior high. I've been
Yeah,
out.
well,
Yeah.
what was that like back then? Because I don't want to give
Mhm.
your age away, but
I'm 62 and proud. Okay.
okay.
Okay. I tell everybody all the time, baby, I'm not ashamed of my age. I tell the people when folks was dying back in the 80s from AIDS and all that kind of stuff, I'm still blessed to still be here. So I'm never ashamed of my age.
Mhm.
It was a little difficult, like I say, but then when I moved to Austin, well, let me tell you how I ended up in Austin. My mom, who didn't have a relationship with my stepfather, she ran into him. She ran into him at a store. And she's like, you know, I've been looking for you. Um, your son wants to meet you, and I want you to meet your son. And that's how I ended up in Austin. And that's how I ended up in Austin.
Okay.
And then I was there. That's when the name Lady PT was born. The name Lady PT was born because I didn't always have the name PT. And I started doing shows in Austin, and then I would go to Dallas and do the talent shows and perform and stuff like that. I'd catch the bus and go up to Dallas at the old what they call it now, Station 4, but back then was called, what
Yeah.
is it called? It was called Village Station back then.
Okay. Yeah.
Back then when they asked you for 2 IDs, you know.
Yeah.
But it was different if you was in drag. They treat you different when you're in drag and when you're out of drag. Totally different. So I would come up to Dallas and do the show, and finally I started doing pageants. The next thing I end up I end up in Dallas.
Okay, so explain a pageant to me. Is it just like any other pageant that we see, like Miss
Well, the
America?
well, the pageant that I did was it's called the America pageant. You have America, US of A, you have US of A, America, and you also have Continental and all the Black America, Black US. And the pageant system that I was in was for both basically for drag queens. Like you couldn't have any silicone, any type of work, only from the neck up. So if you had your cheeks way out here, it was okay. Your eyes pumped, that was fine.
Okay.
I just like the American system because I've always considered myself a boy. So I never,
Right.
competed in anything else.
Okay. Okay. So, um, you were already traveling back and forth and doing shows. Where was the first place you did a show at?
I don't God, oh Lord, I don't remember because before raps, they had other bars. I would come down. Matter of fact, I had a booking one time at this club called TR2's, baby. Miss TR2's, Betty Neal tell you about that club. That club was the T. It was $10 all you can drink. And it was off the chain.
Oh, you can drink for $10.
Yeah, $10, baby. So they would book you, and they was like, I was living in Austin. They was like, PT, do you want to come Saturday? Or you just want to come down Sunday? Hell no, I want to come Saturday. So I would go down there Saturday, meet everybody, and get full and have a good time. Then we all go to Whataburger on Lemon Avenue. She used to
Yeah.
be 24/7, baby. We
Yeah.
get on their microphones and cut up, and so that's how I would just come down and do shows, and then I started doing pageants. And then when I
Mhm.
started doing the pageants, I went to Miss Texas one time and I just cut up, got a standing ovation, and they was like, "You need to move to Dallas. You need to move to Dallas." But my first talent night, I do remember this. My first talent night in Dallas at this club called the Wave. It was next to the old brick.
Okay.
I won the talent night. They was giving that's back when they gave away $200 on a Monday night, and the Monday night was like a Saturday night. It was packed. And them girls stole my dress. I started crying. They sent me back to Austin with no dress, but I had $200 in my pocket.
So you said you was Lady PT. What does PT stand for?
It doesn't stand for anything. I got the name PT from my drag. I have a gay mother and a drag mother. Well, I actually have two drag mothers. And my first drag name was Dominique Devereaux. And everybody knows that name because that was back during the 80s, during uh, what's the show? With Diane Carroll and all them. So every drag queen had that name. And when I moved to Austin, I was doing my first talent night I did in Austin. I didn't have a wig. I had on a turban on my head, and I was gonna do Patti LaBelle. And my drag mother at the time, Nicole, may she rest in peace. She was like, I said, I don't want to go by a girl's name. She said, I don't want to use that name, Dominique. She said, well, what name you want to use? I say, I don't know. She said, well, it's gonna be. I said, this only gonna be part time for me. And as you see, it ain't been part time. She's like, well, just call yourself PT for Lady PT. And that's how I got the name PT. It don't mean nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Because and
Oh,
it's kind of it worked out good for me because I'm gonna move forward just a little bit because when I got the job at Metro, which I know you're gonna talk about that, they hired me because at the time they didn't have drag shows and I did both. I did male and I did female shows. So it worked out perfect. It
okay.
worked out
So,
perfect.
you mentioned raps. What year was raps? Did they start raps?
Oh God. They had the first raps on Denton Drive. That girl was off the chain. Mm. Because I would come down and visit. And it was like
Okay.
me coming from a small town. I was like, "Ooh, look at all these black people." And back then I was a little fine back then.
Yeah.
So they didn't care. They found out. Oh, that's PT. That's that boy that do drag. Child, they didn't care, honey, because I had the abs and the cute face and had all my teeth. So they
Yeah.
didn't care back then. Like, you could still be, as long as you're a fine drag queen back then. They didn't give a damn. So I think, I know man, that was like that had to be in the 90s, early 90s, raps,
Okay.
because they had two raps. They had one on Denton Drive, and then they had one on where the Dickie's barbecue is, right at and Wycliffe and the Tollway. That Dickie's
Okay.
barbecue, that's the one that I used to work for. I used to work there and do shows. I did shows at the old raps too.
Okay.
Yeah,
What kind of was you doing drag shows or
the same music they doing now. And I appreciate y'all young girls doing our music. I'm like, it because we had drag music. We had the kind of music that people. I know people probably get tired. I know people say, "Oh, child, they doing Three's a Crowd again, or they doing this again," but they still love it. They still
what's
like it.
what's drag music?
Drag music and stuff like Three is the Crowd, or I'm Going Down, or that kind of music, that hard working kind of, that Jennifer
Okay.
Holiday, and yeah, that's what they
Okay.
would
Okay.
call drag music.
Okay. Okay. I never knew that. So
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting.
Mhm.
So in the early 90s, that's when raps was started. And then you were talking about if you was in drag. I did want to go back to that real quick. You
Mhm.
said if you were in drag, you got treated better.
Yeah, I believe, and me and a few other people believe this. When you go to a white bar as a drag queen, I know. Matter of fact, I know it's the truth. You're just for some reason you're just treated different than you are just a male. And I think that stems with just how people are when it comes to a black man or a black woman. They just
Mhm.
treat you better. When I'm in drag, oh hey girl, hey girl, But if I'm just myself, it's totally different. It's totally
That-
different. Yeah,
That's definitely a interesting perspective
it's
for
true
sure.
though.
But I can see how that would make
It's
sense because
true. It's true.
they don't feel as
You said it. You said it. Yep.
is they don't feel threatened. They don't feel as threatened.
You said it. Yes.
Mhm. So yeah, that definitely
Mhm.
makes sense. Do you think that the drag queens played a major role in like unifying and bringing, I guess,
Definitely.
everybody together?
Back in the 80s, a lot of people don't know this. For all you people out there say, I don't like drag queens. I can't stand drag shows. Back during the 80s, during the AIDS epidemic, who was raising money for the people, for the community? Drag queens. They was
Okay.
the money that was keeping, trying to get the medicine, get people to get their medicine and help them get their money. Because back then, if you had people had, if somebody had HIV back then or AIDS or whatever, they wouldn't even fool with them. Child, they were the hospitals that didn't want to fool with them. It was bad. So the
Mhm.
drag queen, every week you look up, Charles, we was doing a show for the community. So the drag performers play a big role in our community. And it's sad that people don't know that, but they play a big role. Matter of fact, it was the drag queen that allegedly threw the shoe in New York that started the Pride movement, which a lot of people celebrate
Right.
Pride. They don't even know why they celebrate Pride.
Right. What was the drag queen's name?
Um, Johnson, something Johnson. I should know her name. Let me look up right quick. She was a Johnson. She was a Johnson. I want to say AP, but that's not her name. But then you hear so many stories that it wasn't her, it was somebody else, but they saying it was her. They
Yeah,
got
because I did read something about that because I forget her name as well, but I did read something and they said that actually the black people actually did it, but they gave the white people the credit
hmm
for the
hmm
movement.
hmm hmm
I
hmm
definitely did. Oh, Marsha P. Johnson, that's
Marsha,
her
yeah,
name.
Marsha B. Johnson, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I
Marsha
don't know
P.
why did
Johnson.
just skip my head. Yeah,
Yeah,
But and
yeah,
here's something that a lot of people don't know. Listen, there were a lot of other white establishment gay bars in New York that they didn't mess with them. They only messed with the people who were black, Hispanic, drag
mhm,
queens, the people who didn't have a lot of money. There was
mhm,
you don't People don't think there was other gay bars in New York. Oh, it's a low hope, but them gay bars had rich people, rich queens, and their parents had money. They was doctors and
mhm.
lawyers. They didn't mess with them. They only messed with the people at Stonewall. That was the
Yep,
bar where the bar they rated the bar. Yeah. Yeah,
yep.
yeah. So drag performers played a big role from back in the 70s and the 80s and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Um, was what year? So the Metro. What year did the Metro start?
The Metro started in the early 90s. So like 90. Ooh,
Like
well,
not too long after
I start
Raps?
yeah, I started hosting in 92 or 93. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Mhm.
92, 93. That was the Metro. What's the difference between the Metro and M and Pearl?
Okay, the Metro was when it first opened, and I'm gonna tell people what happened, how it ended up. So the Metro was basically it was catered. They did a survey, and they wanted to know, what do you guys want to see? You know, they was asking the guys, because see how they came up with the idea with Tantalizing Thursdays is what I had. They went to LA and they saw this show where there was nothing but male dancers, and they were guy it was a guy hosting, and they wanted that same idea in Dallas, because every time you look up, you just see drag, 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 and there was nothing for the black gay men, which is okay,
Mhm.
you know. And that's how Metro came about, and that's how I started hosting there, is because they started Tantalizing Thursdays. But when there was the other clubs that was open, all in the people that say we don't want to be around no drag queens, we don't want to be around them kids, we don't want to do this, we don't. As soon as the other club opened, I want to say it was Misha's. I think it was Misha's. As soon as something else came open, and they stayed on them Tantalizing Thursdays, they stayed there. But that Saturday night, them girls was gone. And my
Yeah.
boss was like, you know what? If the club ever closed down, we're gonna start doing drag shows. We're gonna have 21 and over or 18 and up. We doing it all, and that's how the Metro was different from Elm and Pearl. Elm and Pearl was everybody. Metro started out with just basically catering to guys, but I mean, everybody came,
Okay.
drag, everybody came, but it just catered to the men because Dallas had never had that. So history, that's history. This is the first time Dallas had ever had a black gay bar that catered to black men, and then eventually catered to everybody.
Okay. So when the Metro eventually evolved into M and Pearl, that's when it was inclusive to.
Right, but it was different owners. The owner of
Okay.
the owner of the Metro was a guy named Ray, the one I told you about, him and his lover Ken, and Glenn was the manager, and his lover, they had something to do with it. And then Glenn, that's when Ray eventually gave them the bar, and then that's how they ended up having Elm and Pearl.
Pearl.
Yeah.
Okay. And then okay. Okay. That was
Hmm.
some good history. Anybody, if y'all,
Ooh.
especially if y'all my age, because we used to always call it Metro or M and Pearl. We was calling it
Mhm.
both names,
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
because we
But
just knew what
also
it was.
also the Metro was also called Metro 2000 too, because I got to give you this quick story. Somebody got mad at the owners and stuff like that, decided they was gonna call the police on us, because back in the days we had all kind of stuff going on the stage, if you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
somebody recorded it, and they got mad, and they decided that they was gonna um call the police on us. So when the police came, they did an investigation. They looked around. He said, we finna fix this, we finna change all this around. So we changed the name, we changed the look of the club, and when they got there, this ain't the club that we saw.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it's sad though, because even now I hear, when I go visit Dallas, I hear people saying, "Child, they still calling in on each other." We got to stop doing that. We got to stop. The Mexicans ain't calling in on each other. The white folks, I'm sure they do, but we do it at another level. We got to all win together. We just can't continue doing this. If your
Right.
thing ain't working over here, baby, just find you some other night. Stop trying to fight
Right.
against other folks' night, because it's not all at the end of the day. Whoever you calling into, they saying, "Yeah, here come these black folks calling again on each other," because
Hmm.
it's just horrible. Yeah,
Yep. And then we already don't have very many places to
you
go.
sure
So
don't. Nope, you sure don't.
what we
Mm-mm.
gonna do?
Yeah.
So how did you transition from was Havana's after the Metro or
Yeah, Savannah's was after the Metro.
so
Um,
how yeah, go ahead.
After the Metro closed down, I think I worked at a few clubs. I think I did some stuff with Wanda. Oh, the Sunday nights were off the chain, baby. Oh my God, I was living to do the Sunday night at the Wanda show. We didn't even really get paid for that. It was just the tips were so good. Like we would leave there with $400 or $500 in tips. You know,
Okay.
um,
Wait,
and
where was
so
the Wonder show?
it was at
At
JR.
JR's?
And I'm gonna
Okay,
tell
at
you how
JR's.
we got Havana's. This is exactly how we got Havana's. If you want to hear the story. So I was in Oklahoma one night with this group called Seven Connections. Shout out to Seven Connections. And I had got a phone call. They said, "Child, they stopped the Black Night on Sundays." What? PT, you ought to go over there and do something over there at Havana's. So it was me, Seven Connections, and we all went together. They was gonna pay me a certain amount club was gonna be play me a certain amount to MC, and we all end up over there at Havana. That was a Sunday. We didn't have Thursdays. So after all of that happened, it lasted. It was lasting. It was real good. And when I tell you, them black folks was up in that club at 6:30 on the dot. Ooh, baby, you could hear the plates clanking and folks eating food. It was, I mean, Havana's was off the chain back in the early days. So how it came about to where I left Havana's, for those who really want to know what happened, me and Seven Connections got into it because they was telling me I didn't know what I was doing and I'm not hosting the show right. Girl, I've been hosting shows way before you, probably before you was born. They was trying to replace me with somebody else. We won't mention names. And I, and I
Wait,
told
hold on, because hold on, let's go back a little bit. So you was at Havana's on Sundays and Thursdays.
just
Boom.
Sundays. Just Sundays. I'm gonna tell
Just
you how we
Sundays.
got. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how we got to Thursdays.
Okay.
Okay. So I told them, I said, well, y'all need to do whatever y'all think y'all need to do because I'm not having no meeting with y'all because I know how to host the show. Okay. And I know what they was trying to do. They was trying to get rid of me to give the show to somebody else. I said, this is not y'all show. I said, this is all of our show. But if y'all think y'all want to replace me, do whatever what y'all think y'all need to do. So my boss, I went to him and he was like, y'all came together, so y'all need to work it out. That's all I need to hear. I told my boss, so if I leave, can I come back? He said, if you leave and you take the crowd, you can come back. So I I went and found me a building. It was right on Lemon Avenue, right next to the Buffalo Wild Wings with their nasty wings, right there on Lemon Avenue. Went around there. It was a club called Aqua. And I went over there. I told the man, I said, how you doing? I said, my name is PT. I said, I want to do some shows over here. He said, what kind of shows? I said, drag shows. Moving forward. He said, okay. I said, but I want you to come see my show first. Havana's used to be so packed. Folks would be packed, stacked them on top of each other. So he saw all that money. He was like, when you want to start? I say, in 2 weeks. I gave my boss at Havana's a 2 weeks notice. And that night I had my flyers ready and everything. And so when I closed out, I gave him my note, walked out the door, and it hurt me to do that because I didn't want to do it, but I knew what they was trying to do. So I said, I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all want to do. I'm gonna let y'all have this night, and I'm gonna go find me another place. When I walked out of that building, we passed out them flyers. That next Sunday, that club Aqua was packed, and there was nobody at motherfucking Havana's. Nobody. Nobody. And I'm like, okay, if y'all can't bring them for the show and you can't bring them for the after hours, what does that tell you? That was my show. Okay.
Yeah.
So it I don't know how long I was at Aqua, but I remember seeing the owner's brothers driving down Lemon Avenue looking up in there. It was packed up in there. So they finally came and said, PT, he wants you to come back. I said, I'm coming back. Cause why would you not want to be on the strip? That's where you want to be. That's where everybody was at, on the strip. So we had we had Sunday nights, and I went back over there and was it that's it Sundays or Thursday? Yeah, Sundays. So I said TMC TMC used to have black nights on Thursdays.
Mm.
And my boss was standing outside on the patio one day. I said, I wonder how can we get that Thursday crowd over here? Dollar drinks on the patio. Baby, we shut Miss TMC down, baby. We had Thursdays and we had Sundays, and that's the history of how I got back at Havana. So it had both nights, and I was the MC for both nights.
Okay. And then eventually you just went to Thursdays,
I
or
had
did
Thursdays and Sundays. We had
okay.
Thursdays. It was Black Night, both nights. Hmm.
Okay. And
Hmm.
then after that it shifted to Havana, not Havana's, tequilas after all the fighting started.
Yeah, what happened was what had happened was I actually left and moved to Atlanta, which was really, I don't want to say it was a mistake, but it was just something that I wanted to do. You only got one life to live, and you live it, and you whatever happens, whatever fall, whatever have the chips fall, you just do it. And if it don't work out, you just whatever. And so I came back home. And of course, I was only giving my Thursday night back. I wasn't able to get my Sunday back. And wait, I forgot to throw this in there. When I left, I gave one of the Sundays because I gave Shamar my Thursdays because Shamar was a great host and I didn't have anybody else, and everybody knew who he was. So Shamar had the Thursdays and Wanda had the Sundays because
Okay.
they had just stopped uh, um, the club over across the street, JR. So it worked out perfect. It worked out perfect. I just had a brain freeze. You was asking me something about something. I can't remember. But anyway, go ahead and say some other stuff because I was going to say something about oh yeah about the okay. So when I got back, I noticed that the music was a little bit more ratchet than ever. It wasn't because we had the kind of music that was more like Jamie Foxx, his kind of music. We had that. I can't remember some of the song, but it wasn't a nuck if you buck. It wasn't
Yeah.
that type of music. Which even at my age, I like that kind of music because I ain't finna nuck with nobody. I just like the music. Believe it or not, I used to love listen to that music, and it just started getting ratchet. And them girls was fighting in the middle of the street. They was fighting at Kroger's. I'm like, what? And every night, I was getting on the Facebook saying, y'all, we got to stop doing this. And what they don't realize is they was recording them white folks was recording us the whole time. The whole time. You know who they were sending it to? They were sending it to the city council. They got white gay people that worked on the city council, and you work on the city council. They pull strings. Oh, we finna get rid of y'all. So they was
Mhm.
fighting and fighting and fighting. Me and my boss had thought about maybe going up on the age limit. He didn't want to do that. Thought about a dress change. That didn't work. So it was coming to an end eventually, and I knew it. And it just really hurt my heart because people don't really know what I went through to get that club to where it was. Like I did a lot. And so it was this one night, I'll never forget it. And this is it's sad for me to say it, but the gay men was fighting the gay women on Cedar Springs. They was fighting all across the street over at that damn that club across the street fighting over in I had them jello shots in my hand. I just put my head down like this. I said, this is horrible. And my boss showed up and he said, and you know what I told my boss? I said, they coming. He's like, who? You watch and see, they coming. And about maybe a month later, it could have been 3 weeks later, baby, TFTABC, uh, TANF, whoever, Social
Yeah.
Security, baby, all them girls came. And they wanted to shut down Havana's. They want to shut it down, but somehow they got out of it. And it was perfect timing because he had another club. And that's why we had to take our asses way over there to the other side, and which wasn't right because we was right there in the heart of everything.
Mhm.
And now people that live in South Dallas, they got to drive way through downtown, pass downtown, go way on the north side drunk when you leave the club. That it was, and it was a nice club. Now it was a bigger club, but I would rather be on the strip than being way out in North Dallas. It was just Havana's was out. I'm sorry, women went there, men went there. Atlantis was. I'm telling you, when I come to Dallas, some girl was on my TikTok the other night, and she was like, "PT," she said, "You don't remember me, but when I first started going to the Havanas, you teased me and made fun of me, but I will never forget you." She said, "I really miss Havanas." I said, "Child, I miss it too. I miss it." So when we went over to Tequilas, it was better, and people did come. But when I tell you this, she might well just close down the show. So my boss was like, "We need a big celebrity to come into town." I said, "Okay, let me get T.S. Madison." We came up with a few names. I said, "No, I want T.S. Madison." So that's the time she was real big and everything. So we booked T.S. Madison, but in the contract, people don't know that she was coming that Thursday. We hung out and stuff, and we wanted to surprise people. So she came that Thursday. We hung out and everything. And after she left, a big old fight broke out. Y'all were shooting, cutting up, and I believe that she I don't know if she was going. I don't know if the manager or whatever, but I think they was going to cancel her booking. But she had the contract with us. But she went in and did it. It was a lot of people, but it probably been more people if the fight hadn't have broke out. And that was at the time that my boss didn't have security that night. And I told my boss, you have to always have security. You have to
Right.
always have security because somebody gonna act up and make it bad for everybody. And I do want to say this that it's not the whole community that cuts up. It's just a few people that make it bad for everybody. You know,
Mhm.
out here they still fighting on the damn strip. It ain't gonna never. It's not going to change. And I hate to say it, but it's not going to change. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
white. You have these white clubs. They have these Latin nights. They have these uh, Chinese nights. I don't know if that's the right word, but they have all these nights. And but you don't have a black night. You know why? Because y'all gonna mess it up. All right,
Yeah, we gonna work on that though.
we
We
got
gonna
to.
work on that. We gonna
We
get it
got to.
together.
We got to.
Um, so Black Pride started at Raps or around that time.
Well,
Dallas Black Pride.
no, no. Back then was just it was just Grammy Preview weekend. Now, Black Gay Pride, as far as like the name and the who put it out there first, I think I sent you the information was well, first of all, I came up with the idea. How I came up with the idea. I'm not talking about Kirk's Pride. I'm talking about the Metro Pride, the Black Gay and Lesbian Pride. That's
Right.
totally different from Southern Pride.
Okay.
I came up with the name. What happened was I had a son named Scotty Pollock. May he rest in peace. Scotty loved Pride. He went to all the prides. He passed away and he died. And so I went to my boss Ray and I said, "Let's have a Pride in Scotty's name." He said, "Well, we can't do that because we would have to get the family's permission." I said, "Well,
Right.
why don't we just have Dallas Black Gay and Lesbian Pride Weekend?" I sent you the article. You saw the article. It was from 1997 when he posted in the article that is PT was the one that came up with the idea for us to have Dallas Black Gay and Lesbian Pride. So yes, I came up with the idea. Mhm. But people were still celebrating. They were celebrating Grammy Preview Weekend way before that. But we made Dallas Black Gay and Lesbian Pride, I think, official in '97. I think '96, and we went from 4,000 people on Grammy Preview Weekend to almost 9,000.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and
So
Cookie Look Cook was a huge influence and a huge draw also because they would shut down the clubs in Houston because everybody from Houston would come to Dallas for Pride. Yes, for Dallas Black Gay and Lesbian Pride.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So Dallas Southern Pride, that would have been the late great Kirk Myers.
Who was my blood cousin
Okay.
that people don't know. I was back then when Kirk used to work for Don Sneed. They we used to have these safer sex parties where it was is you gather people together and you would teach them about safe sex and you would get $100. Well, I had one day at my house. Kirk was at my house. He said, "What are you doing with so and so on your wall?" I said, "What do you mean? What am I doing? That's my nephew." He said, "That's my." That's how we found out we was blood cousins, and a lot of people don't know that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever perform at
Never
Dallas
did.
Southern?
I never did.
Okay, okay.
I
Okay.
guess I wasn't important enough, but no, they never booked me. Yeah.
Okay,
Never booked
okay.
me. But Kirk
Okay.
did a lot for me. I will say this. Kirk did a lot for me. He did more for me than you can imagine. We just Kirk was bullheaded, so was I. So a lot of times we didn't see eyes eye to eye together. He was a strong person like I am. But we got along. We talked and everything. I remember when I turned 60, I called him and told him, thank you, for everything you've done for me and stuff like that. Yeah, we didn't hang out and stuff, but Kirk did listen. Kirk took our Black Gay and Lesbian Pride to a whole nother level, and it ain't been done since then. He took that to
Mhm.
a whole nother level. Even though I came with the Dallas Black Gay and Lesbian Pride, that was hot for our time, but baby, he took it to a whole nother level, and I'm glad that he did. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. If y'all don't know, definitely look into it. Kirk Myers, long
Mhm.
live Kirk.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I didn't actually get a chance to meet him
Oh,
personally,
really? Oh, okay.
but
Oh, okay.
yeah, but he definitely has done some great
Yes,
things for the
he did.
community
Yes,
as a
he did.
whole. So
Yes.
y'all definitely look into that.
And I and
Um,
I and I have to say this. Also, rest in peace to Don Sneed. Don Sneed is who taught us everything. Me and Kirk and all of us. Don Sneed started the first black HIV services in Dallas. That's who
okay,
Kirk. That's who Kirk came up under, and all of us, and we all came up under Don Sneed. And Don had an office over there for Martin Luther King, baby, right down the street from where Kirk was at. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's what's
history,
up.
baby, history. Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Why do you think that was so important back then to be so involved with the HIV and AIDS epidemic?
Because so many people are dying.
Okay.
But the hits was crazy. Hell, they was dying back in the 80s.
Mhm.
They was dying in the 80s. Left well back in the 80s, there was nothing for you to take to keep you alive. And then in the 90s, it was still the same way, but it was getting better. But we were still out there trying to save lives. That was one of the reasons why we combined the Renaissance 3 with Pride, because you know, excuse me, we would, they was um they hired me to do the hosting and stuff for Renaissance 3.
Okay.
That's what I basically did. And so they basically, when you combine those two together, the Pride with the HIV services, hey, come get a test. We let you in Pride for free. See, they was doing that a long time ago. Mhm. We was just trying to
Okay.
save lives. We were just trying to save lives. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very
That's what's
important.
up. That's what's up. Man, I appreciate y'all for doing that. I'm sure y'all did save a lot of
Mhm.
lives, you know,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
for real.
Yep.
Let me ask you, who was the first drag that you saw? Who was like real
Ooh.
popular?
Baby, you talking old school. Back in West Texas, it was an old drag queen named Miss Candy. She's deceased now,
Okay.
Miss Candy. And then, but when I moved to Houston, it was the four queens that were my mentors back then. Were before Cookie La Cook was um, Donna Day, Naomi Sims, Hot Chocolate, and this MC by the name of not Brandy. Her name was, oh my God, I can't. As matter of fact, she was the first person I ever hear on the mic to say she had that disease. Back then, they said they had a cancer, but they didn't know what it was. I was real young, and I was like, "What is she talking about?" She was a comedian. She was laughing. She was like, "Child, they talking about I got this thing. I got to take this medicine." And child, the next week after that, she was gone. So those
Um,
four, yeah, those four in Houston were the ones that I grew up with watching them when I first. That was before I even started doing drag. I was a scripper back then.
okay.
So
So when you
the
got to Dallas, who did you hear about? Like who was the popular drag? Who was the
you know what's crazy? They didn't really have MC. Betty Neal hosted everything back when I first came here. Most of the
okay?
girls just perform. But the girls that I looked up to, oh my God, you're gonna make me start crying. Latina McIntyre, Danielle Winters, Obsession, Amazing Grace for sure, but Amazing Grace came later. Those girls, Latina McIntyre, Wendy Rochelle, she was a Texas Tornado. She was the girl you go out of town with. You get out of line, she will leave you out of town. Crystal St.
All right.
James. Crystal St. James. She used to twirl fire. She's very talented. All of those girls, and most of them, they all gone.
Okay.
Yep, they
All
all
right.
deceased. Yep.
Yep,
Hmm.
just giving us a little history so I can learn a little bit about the drags back in the day. Because what I've been reading and what I learned is that they, which is like why I asked you, is how they played a significant part in like bringing everybody together and really
Hmm.
opening it up for us. So that's what's up. Have you ever seen Pose?
Yes, yes, I seen
Okay,
Pose. Pose was
okay,
my life. You
okay.
know,
Right. That's why I was gonna ask you what you think about it.
I loved it. Yeah, it was my life. You know,
Have you ever watched? Go ahead.
except the ballroom scene. The ballroom scene, I got up. Can I pat myself on the back on this one? A
Okay.
lot of people don't know this, but house music. Okay, we didn't really play house music back during the raps days. Shout out to DJ 008. He was the one who was the main DJ back in the days. Matter of fact, well, anyway, so they just we back then we just played R&B and stuff like that. And David Laird, may he rest in peace. He was one of the baddest DJs ever. He was a white guy. He used to DJ at Raps. I'm sorry, at he probably did Raps, but he was at the Wave. When I lived in DC, when I was back and forth between DC and Texas, I met this guy named DJ Cedric. They call him the house mother. DJ Cedric, he used to just be on the microphone, hollering and screaming, woo, 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 woo. So when I moved back to Dallas, I say, "Child, y'all got to hear this guy named DJ Cedric. He'll come down here and he'll turn this club inside out." So I booked him. At the time, he was just on the mic, and he came down and he brought some other DJs, DJ Chris Johnson, DJ Sidney Perry, and that's how the house music started coming into the scene. And this is way before the ballroom scene. That's how people started learning about house music. DJ
Gotcha.
Cedric. Yep. Hmm. Yep.
That's
So
what's
I
up.
yeah,
So
I
yeah, so then
introduced house music to Dallas. Uh-huh.
so you the soldier boy of this shit. You
I
the first
guess.
to,
I
yeah.
guess. Well, I mean, it's a true story. Yeah. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
DJ Cedric will tell you, PT brought me to Texas, and he was well known before he came here. And because of me booking him, he got booked at Splash, he got booked here, he got booked there. He's all over there. He'll tell you. Mhm.
So you seen Legendary?
Have I seen it?
Yeah.
No. What is that? I haven't seen that.
So Legendary is a show that I believe was on HBO. I'm not sure how you can find it
Mhm.
now, but it was all the different ballroom houses and they competed.
No, I
Like they
haven't
had
seen
different
that.
judges, like
Mhm.
Laomi was one of the judges, and
Mhm.
Megan Thee Stallion was a judge on there
Oh
one
wow.
season.
You know what's crazy? I never been. I think I've been to one ball or two balls in my life. That's it. Cause see, when I used to hear about the balls, they was fighting all the time. But I guess they don't
Mhm.
fight no more. So I guess I'll start going to the balls now. Cause I like them. I like to watch them online and stuff. But yeah, some of them I don't understand. I'm like, what? I don't get this part. I don't get. But they have.
Right,
I like anything that's positive for our community, and
right,
where people come together and feel welcome and to be able to be themselves. Yeah.
right. All right. So we got about a little over 15 minutes left. So I'm gonna ask you some fun questions. See if you know the answers to some of these little trivia questions that I got for you.
Wait.
So good.
Okay.
All right. When did the first legal same-sex marriage take place in the United States?
I don't know when, but I can tell you, I kind of give you roughly the year. I would say the 80s, and it happened out of Houston, I believe. Well, because of something that happened to Houston. That I do know. I don't know the age, the year. But it had to be in the 80s.
It got 2004.
Oh
The first
wow.
legal same-sex marriage took place in the United States in
Oh
2004.
wow. That's a new one on me. Well, I knew how um same sex not marriage, but I knew how they broke down the sodomy law was because of two couples in Houston. So that I
Okay.
do know. Yeah.
Okay. See, that's some history right there. Put me
Mhm,
on game.
mhm, yep.
Do you watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
No,
Okay. I'm
but
I'm
go
gonna skip,
ahead, go ahead.
I'm gonna skip that one.
No, go ahead, I might know it.
Okay. Who was the first winner of RuPaul's Drag
Oh, of
Race?
course, Tara Sanchez.
No, BB Zahara.
I thought it was Tara Sanchez. Oh my god. See, I don't even know who she is. Okay.
I got a good one for y'all. Y'all can answer too in the comments if y'all think y'all know this one.
Mhm.
What TV show aired the first same-sex marriage on American television?
Ooh, Will and Grace?
No.
Ooh.
I was shocked when I seen this answer. I'm gonna narrow it down for you. It's actually a black television show.
Ooh,
And
that
it's
I don't
probably
know.
it's from like the 90s,
Ooh, that's
early early 90s.
you had to tell me that. I have no idea who that was, what that was.
Rock.
Oh, see, I didn't watch Rock. Yeah, I didn't watch it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't
And
know that.
Richard Roundtree, aka Shaft,
Yeah.
played the gay Uncle Russell.
What? I
Uh-huh.
never
And
knew that.
yep. And
Wow.
he came out on the show to his family and he revealed that he was marrying a man.
Damn. See, you would have thought the white folks would have done that because I
Mhm.
remember when Ellen came out. I'm like, oh wow, I never knew
Well,
that.
the boyfriend or the fiance was a white man.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hmm. Yep.
because it wasn't gonna be two black folks. I already knew it. I knew it was something to it when you said it. I'm sorry. It wasn't gonna be two black men. It was gonna be a white man and a black man, but that's okay. It was done. It was done.
Nah, right. Let's see.
Yes, I'm a Christian.
Look, yes, I'm a Christian. All right, Havana's or the Metro?
Oh, oh, Lord Jesus, why would you do that to me? Havana. I like them both, but Havana's, oh. But it depends on, well, I have to say that the older Metro, no. I,
Right.
I'm,
Uh-huh.
I plead the fifth. I can't say neither one of them because they both was off the chain.
All right. Well, I know you're in Houston, so Houston. Since you're in Houston, I know you live in Dallas. Frenchies or Williams?
Baby Frenches, okay, for filth. Okay, Frenchies. That's why my stomach big. I love me some French's chicken, baby. Yes.
Nah, I ain't gonna
Oh,
lie, Frenchies be busted. Every time I
yeah.
go to Houston, I eat Frenchies.
Yes.
Um,
It's off
have
the
you ever
chain.
ate have you ever ate the turkey leg hut?
Well, I was going to, but it burnt down. They got too much going on over there. I really
They
want to
do.
go, but they baby,
Yeah,
they
why
got
you ain't report on that when do you see
I
the
do.
husband and the
I
wife
do.
broke
Yeah,
up or
I did.
whatever?
I talked about it a long time ago. Mhm.
Yeah,
Long
what
time ago.
happened?
Well, it all started with it's sort of like a Wendy Williams and the Kevin Hunter mess that went down when he decided he wanted to cheat. Allegedly, he was cheating on her and harassing the customers. So that made it bad for the business. And
Okay.
after one thing led to another, then another, and it just messed up everything. I really hate that because that was, I really really hate that because it's just like Wendy. Wendy was doing fine until her husband messed up and messed around when you could have just been a man and been like, hey, I'm gonna move on with my life, but we're gonna do this together. We're gonna be in business together. But some men just can't do right. They whores. Can I say that on you? They whores. That's what they.
Yeah. Um, what else I was gonna ask you? Have you ate Trill Burger?
No, I haven't. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I do word on the streets in Houston. I go around and ask people
Mhm.
questions about celebrities and stuff because I still do my YouTube thing, but I'm hitting the streets of Houston now. I'm on my way to Trail Burger. Yes, soon.
Okay. Yeah. You need to go on over there and check it out. They have a
Oh,
lot
I
of
am.
celebrities
Yeah,
running in and out.
I'm on my way over there. I'm not too
Hmm.
far. They over in the how you doing area. They not too far from
Yeah.
they in the Montrose area.
Yeah, I checked you out on YouTube, and for those that may not know, PT does have a YouTube channel. It's called PT's Corner, and he
Yeah.
actually
PT's
has
point of
over
view.
point of view. My bad, I don't know
Uh,
why I wanted to call it
it's
corner.
okay. It's fine.
PT's point of view, and he has over 1 million views over there. Y'all might need to go over there and check it out.
Yeah, well, I let me tell you how I came up with my YouTube channel. I came up with my YouTube channel because after all the stuff that was going on in Dallas, I was like, man, I need to find me another outlet. I need to find me something else to do. And I started getting in the front of the camera and talking to myself, talking to people, and then that's how my show used to be called No, He Didn't Say That. And then I went from that to uh, which I still like that name. No, he didn't say that to PT Showbiz Top Five. And how I came up with the Showbiz Top Five was because I was on the Kid Craddock Morning Show. That's how I got that name. And then I changed it to PT's Point of View, years later. Um, and it's been good because I met Lunel. Lunel found me on YouTube.
Hmm.
And it landed me hanging out with her and doing things with her. We done so many damn interviews together to where, it just motivated me to keep going. I'm not quite where I want to be. I know I'm not a T.S. Madison, neither am I Armand Wiggins, who I look up to. He calls me his uncle. But I'm gonna eventually get there. My dream job is radio. Like my system is Gary. I've done Gary's
Mhm.
podcast and stuff like that. But it'll happen. I don't care how old you are. If you just keep believing in yourself, because no one has ever did the Kid Craddock Morning Show but me. I didn't get
Right.
any support from the black community, but I did the Kid Craddock Morning Show. I was the
Well,
first
did
person.
we know? Did you tell us?
I told everybody. I was working at the club at the time. I was working at Havana's. But
Oh.
it is a white station, so I guess people's like, and of course, unfortunately, all the black stations that I reach out to, they don't never respond back to you. K104. They don't never, and it's sad. As big as Dallas is, and as large as the black gay and lesbian community is, these damn radio station needs to have one gay person on their damn shows because it don't make no sense for you to put a gay person on the show. Like if Sasha Santana come to town, you gonna put him on the show. When Empire was hot, y'all put Miss Jessie on the show. Don't wait till a gay person is famous before you put them on the show. Houston definitely needs somebody gay on their morning show, which I'm working on right now, and Dallas definitely needs somebody gay on the morning show. Well, I don't know if Dallas has local. They may not have a local morning show. You got to do it if you have a local morning show. But yeah, yeah,
um, I do I guess kind of agree. I think they should do the celebrity gossip for sure. I think it's
yes, for
definitely more
sure,
entertaining.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you listen to Ricky in the morning, most people tuning in to hear Gary. Bottom line, because Gary gives the tea, and can't nobody give the
Mhm.
tea like the Queens, and they know that. And so
Mhm.
that's why a lot of them are afraid to let you come in and do stuff because they know you're gonna be better than they are. And and it's sad,
Right. It
Yeah.
is, but you know how it is. They hate us. They hate on us.
I remember
Black haters.
when we first did Dallas Black Gay and Lesbian Pride at the Metro. They talked about us so bad on the K104 like a dog. They talked about it. Yes, they did. I'll never forget that.
How they even find out?
Well, child, we was advertising, and one thing y'all give 97.9 now. We advertised Gay Pride on 97.9. Yes,
Mm,
we advertised 97.9 on 97 Gay Pride on them. So 97.9 is a different it's a different company. Their Radio
right.
One K104 is just locally owned. Well, I don't know what they got going on now because I know Dee Dee is she's syndicated, but back then it was just a
Mhm.
local station and owned by a white man. So any other so we're gonna move on before I get in trouble.
Well, yeah. Well, you
But
got
yeah.
any shout outs? Anything you want to say to the people?
Yes, I want to shout out to all my people. I miss y'all so much. I've been trying to do a Havana reunion, but this one person over there don't really like the blacks, so I don't think that's gonna work. I really tried. I really want to do, and I want to do a Metro reunion. I want to do all of that, but it's just it takes money and it takes time. So, but I'm still working on it. Yeah. Hopefully, before I leave this earth, I'll be able to, put that together because it would be nice. It would be nice to see. Because I'm telling you, go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but have you ever got any like awards or any like recognition from the Dallas LGBT Black community?
No, baby, what the song say? You got to pat your own self on the back.
Yeah. Why
No,
you
I
think that is? Why you think that you never got any recognition
oh, I
for?
don't know. I don't know. Because you have to realize back when, well, and what's funny you said that because every time I had an anniversary show, I always honor somebody on my anniversary show.
Mm,
Whenever I have an anniversary show, I used to have anniversary shows every year.
mhm,
Everybody got a plaque. People got a plaque. I would give people plaques in the community. And yeah, everybody got a plaque, but nobody ever gave me. But it's all good. Listen, I don't live my life for people to give me anything or to acknowledge me because they know what I've done and I know what I've done. So, and God knows what I've done. And I appreciate you. First of all, isn't it strange that you would ask me to come on your show and interview me about what happened in Dallas back in the days when this should have happened a long time ago? But I really
mhm.
appreciate you for bringing me on.
Yeah,
I really
I
do.
appreciate you for accepting the invite and for sure. I definitely like I said, I got an older cousin that's in the community and we talk a lot about different things. I ask her a lot of history and she put me on a lot of game.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then I was around when Havana was around too. So we was just throwing names around and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It made sense.
Hmm.
It all made sense. I'm trying to get everybody. I want to hear everybody's perspective from back in the day because we
Hmm.
had fun
Yeah.
in the Pearl, the Metro. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember
It was so
going all
much
the
fun.
time.
Yes, it was so
Hmm.
much fun back then. Yep.
Yep. And
Uh,
Havana's and everybody was staying up late and getting to school late the next
mhm.
morning on Monday morning at work, still drunk.
And I want to put this out there right quick. Going back to Austin, I was the first person. Oh, I was the first person also to do. You said the radio station that's KA. Shout out to KAZI. And I'm
Okay,
going.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going back for my birthday. But I was the first black gay person, openly gay person to do KAZI as well. Three
Mhm.
months ago, when I almost, for those who don't know, I almost died. I had food poisoning real bad, and I was in the hospital for a week. But God healed my body. I got up at the hospital, and I got out the hospital that Friday, got shingles in my eye, had to go
Wow.
back to the hospital. They just looked at my eye to make sure that it wasn't too bad. They gave me some medication, shipped my ass up out the hospital. I went home, got on the bus that Sunday. I had to stay at the hospital. I had to stay at the hotel for like 3 or 4 days because of my infection in my eye. And baby, that Wednesday, I was on the radio show. And I was also the first black gay person to have a gay night in Austin, Texas at a club called um, Midtown Live. So just want to put that out there too. Mhm.
Okay, I see Ebony EC Clark. She said that she'd love to have you at the lounge.
What's that?
It's a club in Dallas that they
Tell
do
her,
on Fridays.
tell her, hit me up. A lot of y'all can't, a lot of folks can't send me messages because unfortunately and I know I shouldn't be like this, but if I get into it with somebody and we don't and they done some things to me, and it's not the community, but people who do things to me, they're not gonna be able to send no messages because once a person do me in, I don't have no love for them no more. There's nothing. We don't have anything to communicate about because I moved on with my life. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I can
Tell her,
definitely dig
tell her,
that.
let me know I'm available, honey. Actually, she need my cash app right now. I'm just playing.
She, she said will do. She on here right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm definitely sure that she will be in touch, and then
Okay.
y'all can work out the details. But yeah, it's a spot. It's pretty cool. I went when I came in from Colorado back in March, and I performed and stuff like that, and I had a good time.
Oh, okay.
It was
And
definitely a
Ebony is,
vibe.
I believe, Ebony. I know she's a legend too. But I'm also gonna say this now. I came. There was legends before me. Betty, Camille. Uh, as far as like drag, like definitely Camille and all of them. Those Betty, well, Camille. I say Camille. She did shows. They came before me. So definitely, if you can get her, if you can get Camille on the show, but he goes by Greg now, that would be awesome because he knows a lot.
Okay.
He was the manager at Raps. He was the manager. He ran the club. Him and Betty, they ran the club. But Camille was definitely a big part of the community back then. I don't know if Raps was the first black gay. I think it was the first black gay club. Well, but I have to say this: it was a black club, but it wasn't black owned, which is fine. But I think the first black gay bar, black owned, was Metro. But I'm just glad that Howard Okren was the guy who owned Raps. I'm just glad he gave us a place to come because we wasn't welcome on the strip.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Howard, and then
Yes.
if you get in touch with Camille, let her know I'm open. We just need to set up.
Betty, no, her and Betty are good friends.
Okay.
Betty and Camille are good friends. I'm sorry, he goes by Greg now, but they're best friends. Yeah, and you can bring
Okay.
Eternity knows a lot about the community.
What era was Jody Malone? Real quick before I let you go.
Jody wasn't even doing shows when I came to Dallas. She was just a little young thing running around, and all of a
Oh,
sudden,
okay.
baby, here she come, baby, letting the kids have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sally, Jody, all them, none of them was performing when I first came to Dallas. They came later.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, man, shout out to PT. Make sure y'all go follow PT's Point of View on YouTube. Check him out. Like I said, he got over 1 million views. So if it's 1 million people checking in, it's something going on. He talking about something on there. But yeah, I checked out a couple of episodes and some shorts and stuff, and then I appreciated it for sure. Like
All
it's
right.
definitely funny. I
All
see the
right.
information, you know what I'm saying, which I can
Yeah.
relate to. We got to get it together. Then
Yeah.
you can see the elevation. So yeah, just keep grinding, keep doing your thing, and of course, I'm still in the mix. But if you need me to help you with anything, just let me know. I'm still
I
learning.
will.
I might know some little tricks and trades, but you got it there. You got you a background. You got your headset going. They got PT
This
for
this my this my condo, child. This my condo.
yeah. Already, man. Well, thank y'all for tuning in
Thank
to All
you.
Bullshit Aside, episode 2. Yeah, thank you again for
Thank
coming
you. I
on, PT.
appreciate it. All
And
right.
y'all check us out tomorrow. We got Shamar. If y'all ever been to the Metro or been in the ballroom scene in Dallas for show, then you definitely know who Shamar is. And if you don't know, tomorrow you will. I
Yeah.
appreciate y'all.
And soon, the first time I get that radio gig, you'll be the first interview I give to.
Yeah, and I'm coming. I'm coming in
Okay.
person. We ain't gonna do no
Yeah.
virtual. I'm gonna
Okay.
fly
Oh,
you
that's
and
fine.
everything.
That's
Yeah.
fine. All
All
right.
right. Thank
All
you
right.
again, y'all.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right.
Bye bye.